G'day guys, welcome to the very first episode of Chux Garage. Like I said in the previous video, I'm going to be showcasing a bunch of SA cars that a heap of my mates have got, and I just wanted to show what SA has to offer in the car department, because there are some killer cars out there, and what a better place to show you here. So our very first guest is a bit of a celebrity in the drifting world, so let's show you. All right, so like I said, we've got a bit of a big name in the drifting scene here in SA or even nationally. So Jake Jones, aka Drift Squid, is here, and he's got his BMW here to show us, and I'll let him sort of discuss it. And,
awesome.
And why this car and the build, and how long have you sort of been into it?
How's it
all been going?
Well, firstly, thank you, and thank you for letting me be in front of your audience here today. It's awesome to be here. As first thing I noticed when I walked in here was the billet block you got in the corner.
Yeah, that's just slowly getting put together, slowly, but it's getting there. So it's got to be put together in the next month. So
it's unreal.
Yeah.
So
which he'll have one soon, I'm sure.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, this is the RBM3. I'm obviously Jake Jones. Been drifting for almost 12 years now.
Yeah, okay.
So it's been a pretty wild journey. It's taken me all around the world, and it got to the point where I wanted to build my dream car.
Yep.
Because I was getting close to filming my dream video, and wanted everything to line up. You know what it's like. You got all your toys. And I put this together. I actually found this chassis on a pallet.
I did read up, do a little bit of research last time. I did hear that, from Brisbane.
Yes, so I found it in Brisbane. I think it was like a wrecker. I never actually seen it or went and met the bloke. I just rang him. He wanted 10 grand for it because it was an M3 chassis. Yeah. And I just rang him, and I'm like, it's all like, had crashed front end, had no panels, nothing. I just rang him, I said, look, I'll give you 2 grand. And he said, yep, done. So I think I might have even still ripped myself off, I don't know.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Well, that full, because they used to have a carbon roof.
Yep, that was the only thing on it. There was no dash, there was no boot, there was no doors. It was just all there was the rear guards and the front rails.
Sort of clip, sort of ruled rail,
Yep, and they were bent, so it didn't look like you could do much with it. And so that's where it started. Obviously, the RB platform, the Nissan RB platform's been me through and through my whole career. Yep. So that was a no-brainer. And the reason I picked this shell was because I seen the Liberty Walk body kit, the Japanese body kit, and as soon as I seen it, I'm like, I want that car. Yeah. And then I wanted this engine because it sounds freaking insane. Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, we better have a look at it.
Yeah.
And see what sort of how it's all going under here.
So this is just an RB26. It's not a 3-litre bottom end or anything like that. So it's a full billet crankshaft and full PPM connecting rods and piston setup. That basically is so I can rev it more. So obviously with a bigger stroke, you can't rev them, or you can, but they don't like it much. This did have a 2.8 litre bottom end. But I made a bit of a boo-boo, and
as you do.
When I rebuilt it, I reused the rod bolts, which is a big no-no.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you ever rebuild that, just when you're doing rings and bearings, don't use the same rod bolts again.
All right, we'll have to write that down. Hopefully I don't have to rebuild it.
Yeah, so after the first 2 years without a single issue, pulled the engine out, did the rings and bearings, and put it all back together, and we were only revving it to 9,500, and it was jumping up to 10,000 RPM. So I said, look, can we go further? Because we had no issues. There was no signs of fatigue or anything on anything. So we went up to 10,000 and it would jump up to 10,500. And on my second event, that's when the rod bolt, if I had to change the rod bolts, it might have been sweet, but that snapped, and there went my 2.8 kit.
Well, that's
but
that's racing, I suppose, right?
Yeah,
drifting, and
it is what it is.
Pushing shit that probably shouldn't be pushed as hard as it goes. But where's the fun in that?
That's right.
But and what size turbo what turbo is it? I should say.
So that is a Borg Warner, 9174. Normally people go with a 9180.
Yep.
But the 74 has a higher RPM tolerance.
Yeah. Okay.
It sounds weird, but the compressor wheel can spin faster, and with the revs this does, you can get a turbo that'll end up choking your engine, creating higher exhaust temps, and then you have more dramas. So we had to get a higher RPMs turbo to suit this engine.
Yeah, okay.
And then we've also got a sensor on the turbo, so once it gets to 120,000 RPM, it just opens the gates so it can't spin faster. It's there's so much trickery in it. But
and what boost are you sort of running at that?
So the last time I drove it, I wound it right up till I went roll racing.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. You did fairly well, didn't you?
Yeah,
no. You had second, wasn't it? Yeah, that's unreal.
I couldn't believe it. It was, I think half the people I lined up couldn't believe it either. But so I had that up to 30 pounds. Yeah. Which is about 600 kilowatt. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, that's good.
But because it revs, I've got like 35 to 40 kilometers more in each gear than anyone else.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, because you got all your V8s that rev to 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
This goes to 10. You've got a huge amount of like kilometers per gear.
Well, exactly.
So,
well, there you go.
Yeah, that's where I sort of worked out I was doing better. I don't know. It didn't make sense because I was lining up against, these LS twin turbo things and big drag slicks.
Yeah.
And it was weird.
Well, that's it. Like that's sort of like now it's got an auto, and it sort of runs out of steam at the sort of top because of the diff gears. But we fixed it when it had the sort of manual diff gears in it. But now it's sort of like it's good, but still get to a point where it sort of doesn't really go any further because it wants another gear. Nah. And what trans are you running in this as well?
So it's a Nascar gearbox. It's an interesting one. I had the first 5 years of drifting, I would have blown 30 gearboxes, like just the standard Nissan ones.
Okay.
Just like I'm a pretty abusive driver, but it was just getting to a little bit silly. So found a NASCAR gearbox that they use in all the trophy truck series over there. Or the truck series or whatever. So it's just a 4-speed H pattern. Straight cut dog box, and it's just bulletproof. Like I can't break it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's it's a pretty old school design box, but it just works. So
well, that's it. I mean, everyone sort of seems to be running sequentials and everything like that. You didn't want to sort of go down that path?
I did have one.
Yeah.
But I broke it so many times.
Yeah. Okay.
Like 5 times.
They do seem pretty like temperamental, don't they?
Yeah. I was a bit of a test bunny for a new company, and these things happen.
As they do. All right, we'll have a bit of a walk around and have a look at the cockpit.
Yeah, you'd even be able to fit in here.
Yeah, because you're a big lad, aren't you?
Well, these are like, they got a high roof, which is not a great thing because of, center of gravity or whatever. But the seat's that low that maybe the leg might be an issue, but it's got a pedal lock.
Well
so
there,
go on, jump in.
Oh, shit. Bloody hell.
Once you're in, you'll be right.
Yeah,
maybe.
Then getting out as well.
Don't do a bloody injury, jeez.
All right.
The CEO of Port after me.
That's not bad. That's all right, isn't it?
Because the biggest issue you'd have is helmet room, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, that's even the same in my car with the cage. It's like I've got to take all the cushions out. I
did notice that.
So I can sit down. I might even have to get a Kirky for that. Bloody hell. This is awesome, though. All right, so I want one of these in my car.
Oh, the steering wheel. Yeah.
How?
So you just pull the gold. Pull
one.
it back, and it doesn't really matter what you line, what way you line it up, it'll just go straight on, and she's on.
How good's that? That's a nice wheel too. A Velo?
Yeah.
They're nice. They helped me out with my 2 seats.
Oh, nice.
They're good lads.
Adelaide company.
Adelaide company.
Bloody
So you've got to support the Adelaide people, because there are a lot of them here, and they do look after homegrown. Not that I'm homegrown, actually. I'm from Queensland, but like I like to think that I am. But no, this is actually awesome. You go.
Yeah. Long story short, you'd have a kill switch in yours, obviously. So kill switch there, and then I've put all the sort of
how good's that?
Gadgets up there, so it's like a fighter pilot, you know.
Yeah. How good are switches? Like that's it. Like just bang, bang, bang.
So if you just hit the ignition one, all the Motec stuff fires up, and it's
cool.
It's so cool.
Now, obviously, you've got the Motec dash and Motec stickers. You're running the Motec.
Yeah. I got the M150 in this.
Yep.
And then there's a couple, like you've got the E888 expander to run all the EGTs on each cylinder. And then a PDM setup to obviously run without any relays and all that stuff. So another sort of key thing that we have in drifting is, or any racing, I guess, is a fire suppression system.
Oh yeah, I did see the tank at the back here.
Yeah, so it's a big bomb setup. So if you pull this, there's all these little squirters that I think there's 2 shooting at you.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and that'll just sort of eliminate the oxygen. From everywhere. When I built this, I was just, I've seen far too many fires, and
well, that's it. I mean, there's no way I'm getting out of here in a hurry. There's a fire, I'm in strife. So yeah, I need one of those things too.
It's just a must-have these days.
Yeah,
definitely.
And like with your tuning and stuff like that, can you do like a little bit of it, or do you just like hand it off?
All I do is I'll check the spark plugs. If something doesn't look right.
Yeah.
My tuner from Sydney, Chia at Power Tune.
Yeah.
He just remotely logs in.
Yeah.
And if I say there's an issue or a cut comes up, it doesn't take him long. He'll fix it, and we're on the way again.
That's it. I muck around with spark plugs and all that sort of stuff. I get to a point where I've either broken something or I can't do it anymore. So I'll like ring the boys and they're like, "What have you done?" But yeah.
Oh, I'll show you the back as well.
Yeah.
Because it's actually.
We better get.
I'll give you a minute, mate.
Yeah. Probably should take that wheel off. That might be a little bit easier.
So you're all over it.
Oh. Hey, it's all worth it. 'Cause once you're in, you're in.
So in the back, I actually have the radiator
The
setup.
radiator, yeah.
Yeah. So in here, obviously got radiator, dry sump tank.
Yeah.
It's really dirty, sorry.
No, that's mate. The rest of the shed's the same.
And I noticed you've actually got the SP. Is it 1200 over there, or is
Yes,
it
I do have one of them. I've had that for a while, but that'll be going in the Monaro.
Yep.
And I'll be swapping sort of things around just because that's a sort of better unit.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all right. But yeah, that's a serious. It's one serious car. All right. Before Jake gets out of here, one part of the segment is that with the Mickey Thompson tyre over here, we're going to get him to sign the wall, which every guest will do. And like I said, he's the first, so let's get him
Hell yeah.
Yeah.